All right. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you here. Paul Trani. Gonna dive into everything you need to know and all that goodness that's happening this week and quite frankly this month, because it is a new month and I'm so happy you are here. Michelle and Viola and Steve, Golden Rose, what's up everybody? Good to have you here. Hopefully my hair is all right. It's getting a little long. I need a haircut today, so that's on the agenda as well. But welcome. Good to have you here. I'm going to dive into these wonderful topics. As you can see right here, I'll talk about the guests this week. We have some just news, general news, tech news, and then a lot of design news, of course, as well. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll highlight somebody. We'll talk about new creative. We'll highlight community member as well. We'll get into some free stuff and we'll answer any questions / tips that you need to know about. So this will be good. So yeah, my hair's a little long, but thank you so much, Michelle. You're too kind. My Viola. Happy Monday to everyone, and let's really get into this because we have an amazing lineup today and this week. Just so you know, we have these amazing folks. Two new guests, as you can see right up here, Jaslyn Tauntaun as well as Corey Allen Hall are both going to be with us this week. We have Spencer and then Farah as well. So we got a full day. You're still in lockdown, Richard? Fascinating. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's dive into this. You're saving so much money though, by the way. No hair, no problems. So anyway, but yeah, I kind of wanted to show off their work as well, just so you know. We are going to have, and I'm looking at the schedule on my screen. It's a top secret schedule. Can't share with you all the details, but we have Spencer today and Jaslyn Tauntaun, both today and tomorrow. Okay, and keep in mind what this is all about this week in general. And this gets into a little bit of the news, but let me just turn off some of these other things so you cannot see them. This is all kind of part of Black History Month, just so you know. So we're going to be highlighting designers of all ethnicities, and it's going to be good. So that's the short of it. Let's kind of take a look at their work, by the way. Let's take a look at Jaslyn's work from Orlando. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just like that, and we can check out his work. Jaslyn from Orlando. He's a problem solver. That's right. He is hardworking, ambitious, up for a challenge. I like this. Saved by Grace. Into it. Love how this is written and short and nice, but you can see his work and all the work he does. Super clean. Of course, he's doing some nice branding and then UI and UX, as you can see. So I think it's going to be good. Oh, it's a little too loud. Can I even turn it down? Ooh, it's so low on my end, but I turned down the music a touch. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, so technically I am sharing everything, but this is just you don't need to see an internal spreadsheet of this stuff. That's boring. What you need to see are these beautiful pictures by Jaslyn, as you can see right here. Gorgeous, nice and clean, right? The design doesn't get in the way. Look at how gorgeous this is. I just love how he put this circle back here, right? This is like kind of grounds the object, so it's not just kind of floating around, but it kind of allows you to focus on this image and then kind of through the content, and ultimately this is your call to action. So this is also that nice yellow or gold. So I think, man, this guy knows what he's doing and it's going to be good. So check out his work, but honestly, see him live stream today and ask him questions. So that's going to be a lot of fun to have Jaslyn here. So it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully that's a little bit better, Sean. Appreciate it. Awesome. Marsha and Mallory are here. Let's move on because we also have Spencer here as well. You guys might know Spencer. He's live streamed with us before. And you could see a number of his projects, of course, if you just search online. He does a sketch a day, by the way. So he goes through a lot of work. So we can take a look at some of these. Look at how good this is, right? what a good discipline to introduce in your life is just a sketch a day or a design a day, which is why we have the daily creative challenges. But look at Spencer's work. Right? Look at this. And I feel like I could hear him talking sort of in the back of my head, and like, well, you just do this, like explaining why he added all these lines, right? But the guy knows how to create inanimate and, of course, animate objects. But man, this is really good sketches. So anyways, super cool. Got a Peloton there. Is that? I don't know what that is. Maybe. I do not have a Peloton. I'm not that guy. But yeah, welcome Gus. Good to see you here. And Steve and Mayor. We have a full day. And again, that's Spencer's work as well. He's going to be with us. A couple other people we want to introduce you to is Corey Hall. He's also going to be with us for the very first time. So it's going to be fantastic having Corey here as well. And you can see some of his branding work that he does as I kind of click through a couple of these. You're going to be able to hang out with him today. Or actually, sorry, should be... Let me double check the schedule. Should be actually Wednesday and Thursday. So, but again, we got a lot going on. We got a full schedule, so this is going to be good. So check out Corey Hall's work, CoreyAllenHall.com, and that would be fantastic. And I can let you know the exact times here in a second as I slowly stall a little bit and draw out what I'm saying. Corey Allen Hall, he's going to be doing branding and identity design. Looks like Wednesday and Thursday, like afternoon. So that's the short of it. Check out his work. This is learning from the professionals, and we're so happy to bring this to you directly to you. I could easily be the Peloton guy. You're exactly right. What's up, Rick? Oh, Rick, what's going on, man? Good to see you from HP Tech Marketing. Love the Z book, and actually what it does for especially the neural filters in Photoshop. Okay, so let's move on. We have some amazing guests that we also have to reintroduce or bring back. One of those is Farrah Manley. I actually hosted her last time she was on, and you can see her awesome work largely on Instagram, and she actually joins the community as well. So it's so good to see her joining us this week as well, as you can see right here. And again, she is on Wednesday and Thursday, and you can see her Photoshop magic. Go ahead and appreciate her work. You see it right in here. Awesome Photoshop work, right? Something like this, for instance, super cool. Trying to spherize and glass and water, liquids, anything semi-transparent with a reflective nature is pretty tough to pull off. So yeah, it's cool seeing Farrah's work, and yeah, you'll see more from her this week. So it's going to be fun. All right, what's new in the world of design is what we're covering. Also technology as well. Hamza, I see you over there on YouTube. If you're joining me elsewhere, jump over to behance.net/Adobe Live. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm reading chat. Okay. So this is where you get lost. This is clicking through somebody's Instagram and then an hour goes by. It's a little bit silly. So those are our people. We have Farrah's work, Spencer, we have Corey Hall, we have Jaslyn as well, and it's going to be a good week. So I'm happy you're here. You guys are the stars, really, ultimately, and hopefully you have your coffee this morning as well. So let me just take a second and we'll shift gears and we'll dive into the news. Cheers. All right, not as smooth of a transition as I would have liked, but yeah. We'll talk about the news now. We'll dive into this. I already talked about Black History Month. So this is something we're going to be highlighting all month long, just so you know. Here at Adobe, and especially Adobe Live, is, creatives from, around the world, basically. And it starts today. So this is super cool. I'm just checking the schedule and making sure I didn't miss anything. Farrah Manley is going to take it. What she's going to do is she's going to take a photo and turn it from day into night. using Photoshop. Spencer Nugent is, of course, does a sketch a day, so we'll do a sketch for us. And yeah, that's what we have going on. We're going to keep these live streams as diverse as possible, not only for this month, but throughout the entire year, just so you know. But it's going to be fun. I love highlighting new creatives and creatives we haven't had before. Speaking of what else is new, we can take a look. Actually, right here, you're going to see this roll out as well. I'm not sure you think about it, or if you're even on Twitter. If you're joining me on Twitter, hey, what's up? But Twitter's going to roll out some new branding, and it looks a lot like this. In fact, I'll just kind of click over to my screen just so you could see what their new branding looks like. It's going to be very much this like sort of imperfect, complex, an iconic brand that's complex and imperfect by design. So a lot of this paint spatters, moire textures, things like that. And you'll see this kind of, they'll slowly roll it out because, again, it's imperfect by design, which I think is fascinating. Okay. And this is directly from their brand marketer. So that'll be pretty cool to kind of see this roll out. But I think it's cool to have a brand that's strategically imperfect, right? So it's like, design is there to do a job, and maybe it's not meant to be perfect, just like Twitter isn't perfect. But they also released something else, and I actually kind of want to see if I have that in here now as well. I think they're going to be doing a lot in terms of, they have a new typeface and this new thing called Birdwatch, which is a community-driven approach to addressing misleading information, which I think is pretty cool. And just so you know, we do the same thing here at Adobe, is we actually have technology that will be able to detect if an image has been modified, right? And that's hugely important, having technology to see if a photo has been modified, and it's our brand initiative around that. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be working on. We're actually working on that with Twitter and New York Times, and I forget the other big names, but that's the short of what's happening. And yeah, all right. Just checking chat. What's up, Lisa, as well? Good to have you here. Let's move on. Let's jump back to my screen over here, and we'll move on to what is next. I kind of wanted to talk about this. For a second, I want to talk about a couple more things. One is this thing called Around. So around.co. This is a new video platform because we know we're all using Zoom. I want to kind of encourage you guys to check this out. It's like brand new, and they're just rolling it out to more people. So this is going to be pretty exciting. As you can see right here, just go to around.co. So this is a video sharing platform. So think Zoom, but think of Zoom for designers. It is so slick. I can't tell you how cool it is. It's kind of like if you married sort of like Snapchat with Zoom, for instance, but it does so much. It's just, I can't tell you enough about it. It's just so amazing, right? I tested it out, what was it, like last week? And it's just really cool. So around.co, you could try it out, obviously, for free. This is not sponsored or anything. Actually, I have a friend that works there that used to work at Adobe. Actually, you want to know the inside scoop? One of the first people who actually started Adobe XD back when it was called Sparkler 5 years ago. I don't know how many years ago, a long time ago. XD started on this guy's laptop, and now he's doing this video sharing company. So check that out. I thought that it's pretty cool, and that's about it. Again, this is not sponsored. I'm just sharing with you things that are cool. So, all right, what's going on? All right. Yeah, isn't it funny, Mike? We're going to go ahead and create technology that will be able to tell others if you're actually using Photoshop or not. So, you know what? The thing is, use Photoshop for good, huh? Not for evil, okay? We have a fun day. Actually, this is a kickoff of many things. We got a new month. It's Black History Month. We got new daily creative challenges as well, rolling those out today, just so you know. Photoshop, Illustrator, XD as well. all starting off today for the next 10 days. You see Kathleen's going to be the Photoshop one. I'm going to lead the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. And then we have Howard Pinsky, who's the man with XD, leading that as well. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Emma, good to have you here. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right, let's move on. More news, okay? Clubhouse as well. Mentioned this like last week. We're going to be doing a Clubhouse today right at, let's see, I'm not sure what it would be, 10, I think 9 a.m. Pacific time. So right after this, we're going to do a live Clubhouse. And so check that out. I need to send some people invites, but the short of it is you can't invite somebody by email, but we'll get it squared away. But that's what's going to be happening. So we're going to do a little Clubhouse action. Clubhouses is actually live streamed audio. So if you can imagine a live stream with just audio, or a podcast that's just straight up live and it doesn't live beyond that time. So it's just like you catch the broadcast. It's like live radio, I guess. But we're going to try it out because a lot of people were in it. Somebody asked if I listened to Elon Musk's last night. I did not, but he was doing one, and I'm kind of bummed I missed it. So, all right. Well, let's dive into Pee-wee's Clubhouse. Yeah, my Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge is going to be awesome if I could just shamelessly plug it. But let's dive into what's new, not from me, but from you guys and from creatives. I got lots to show you. And I am back. Welcome everyone. What's going on? Tim's in the house. One of the sharpest guys I know is Tim Mobest. I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, but you're amazing. So awesome. Okay, so wanted to talk about some of these things. Golden Wolf, by the way, does a ton, like their whole business model is, of course, doing animation. Let me just kind of click over and show you this stuff, right? Because they're an award-winning animation company, and what do they largely do is they make animated GIFs, right? This is literally just on Giphy, and this is what they do. They do all this fun, crazy, pretty cool animation. So it's pretty sweet. They're called Golden Wolf, by the way. So award-winning animation since 2013, and they just kind of rebranded. First of all, I just kind of wanted to point out their new logo, which is just so cool, right? And their new branding, which uses a lot of this sort of electric greenish yellow color, which is really awesome. But it's cool just kind of seeing their work kind of matches their fun style. The fact that they have this new brand. In fact, you can see them on Instagram. You'll see a lot of this work as well. But they're called Golden Wolf, and it's just cool to see what they churn out. We know GIFs are really the new animation. Like, they get seen way more than a lot of other content. So anyways, you can see their work right in here. Golden Wolf, check them out. Run with the Golden Wolf. I thought that was pretty cool, right? Doesn't it make your eyes happy? Do you like it? I like it. I'm into it. And I'm just into this color. Like, look at that. I'm into the font. I'm into the color. I'm into all of this. So yeah, really into it. That's all I got to say. Lee Jackson makes your eyes happy. And that is our goal here. Just make your eyes happy. Make yourself happy. We'll kind of take it down a notch and just kind of point out, again, this is not necessarily new, but we need to highlight these things that you may or may not know about. Logobook.com, okay? Again, not necessarily new, but you need to know about this. Logobook.com literally has sort of, this is your go-to place for all types of logos, as you can see right here. Letters, numbers, and logos. So if maybe I'm starting to create something based on a T, which I did a couple weeks ago, right? And I did not show this site, but this is just a cool example of like all these logos that have a T as their logo. And not to say that a logo has to have your first initial, but I think this is super clever and inspiring, seeing all this gorgeous work, right? As we scroll down, you can see and get inspired from all these amazing logos. So quite a resource, right? We can go into shapes as well and objects. So just kind of think about what you'll try. Chances are 9 times out of 10, I feel like, you know, something has already been made. Like, you still need to make it, but it's okay if you create something and you go out here and you're like, oh, that was already made by someone else. But look at this amazing work. Can we just kind of talk about it? It's so cool. So into it. So logo book, bookmark that as an amazing resource, and yeah, you won't be sad. On that same note, design inspiration as well. Oh, cool. I love it. I will also go to brands of the world as well. So this is also another resource. As you start thinking about logos and seeing other people's logos, that kind of leads you to brands of the world. And this is where you can jump in and say, hey, you know what? Adobe. Are they in here? Let's search. Oh, there it is. There's the Adobe logo, provided this site is not working with any of these companies, because technically this is the old logo, but you can jump in, you can see the logo, and then you can download it. So if you do need one from United, for instance, United Airlines, let's search. There it is. And this is just the resource I would typically use if I'm trying to find a logo. All right. Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. You guys might be talking about Clubhouse. Clubhouse is currently on iPhone only. Hopefully it's coming to Android soon. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Yes. Okay. Alyssa Brown. Brands of the World has made your life so much easier over the years. These are typically vector too, by the way. I don't know if it says exactly. Oh yeah, we're searching on vector logo library, and you know, again, download it, done, you're good to go. All right, next up, this is really exciting. What's up, Abid? Good to have you here. Welcome to the new show where I talk about all sorts of new things. One thing I want to talk about is this climate crisis font. This is so amazing, and guess what? You can download it for free. So let me switch my screens. Climate Crisis font's amazing. In fact, I already have it installed, and I have Illustrator running as well. Okay, so check this out, Richard. Look at this. This is like super cool. This is the font, Climate Crisis. I've already downloaded it. It's a variable font. So if you are working in Illustrator, for instance, select this font, go right over here, Climate Crisis, and then here, since it's a variable font, we can click like so, okay? Oh, good, Umacorn, I'm so glad that's helpful to you. This is interesting. So typically with a variable font, so we'll just do, I do Acumen, for instance. If I click on this, Acumen will give me, allow me to adjust the weight, the width, and the slant. So those are pretty typical, right? But they said, hey, you know what? Let's do something different. So I'll change this to Climate Crisis font. Click on this variable button right here, and it gives it, and we'll change the font based on the year. So here it's saying, hey, you know what? We have global warming going on. So as I drag this over, you can see it start to corrode and sort of like melt in front of your eyes. So as we get to 2050, for instance, you can see that it's really deconstructed and still a typeface. Let's make that even larger so we could really experience it. Isn't that cool? All right, I'm into this. Thank you for sharing those links. Lamia, hello. Good to have you. Next as well. So again, this is super cool. This is a variable font, right? And there's other variable fonts as well. All right, that we're gonna get into. Isn't it so clever? But guess what? There's so many other clever fonts as well. Let's turn that off. So that's Climate Crisis. That's brand new, and just a shout out to the creators is Helsingen Sanomat. So again, download it for free. Check it out. You could see the climate change font kind of break down per year as you scroll through it. You guys get the idea. Cool. Got to get the word out. Climate change, it is real. All right. Yeah, it's really cool. Let's kind of take a look at some other fonts. In fact, let's kind of jump in here. Talking about variable fonts, let's just take a look at these. Just some fun ones that you can get a hold of. FS Kitty, for instance. FS Kitty. Here we go. I'm going to change it to this. This FS Kitty is another fun font. Let's go in here. Selecting it, we'll go to the variable controls that you have, and here you can see you can adjust the shadow. Zoop, zoop. And it's rolling through different fonts. So it's not a pseudo shadow or pseudo bold or whatever. This is actually different fonts that they've made. Because if we go through this drop down, typically the drop down will show all the fonts. But this one actually already has a bunch of different versions. But again, I like this. It's like give it more of a shadow, maybe less of a shadow, and adjust the outline depending on my needs. Gridlight has one as well. Let's take a look at Gridlight. Oh yeah, here we go. Can't quite read it right now, but let's increase that weight. There it is. Gridlight. Let's remove the background or add to it and really get this dialed in the way we want. Isn't that impressive? Are you not entertained? All right. By the way, just like do screen captures, by the way, I'm throwing out lots of things. This is what I would do, guys. If you're looking for the actual links, go to V. I'll paste this in there. V-fonts. Oh, shoot. I got to log in. But this is the place you would go to make this happen. V-fonts, you can see it right up here. Go there. And give me a second to log in. I'm sorry. It's Monday, so... I got kicked out of all my pages and all that stuff. All right. Thank you, Tim. All right, thank you for posting that. Again, that's just one place you can go. I just grabbed a couple of them, by the way, some that I thought were pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's go back in here. There's Gridlight, right? And again, that's just a number of fonts. We can see them right over here. These are all the fonts that the typographer made, right? So technically it's just rolling through all these different versions, right? And we can change this, again, just jumping in here, we can change the shape from lines to squares to circles, as you can see magically. All right. All right. Fantastic. Right? So, and again, my goal is to highlight things that are new or maybe have been around that you may or may not be aware of. Another thing might be color fonts as well. So speaking of variable fonts, there's actually multicolor fonts as well that you can go ahead and download. Here's ColorTube, and you could just do a quick search for multicolor fonts. I think I had a URL up here as well. But you can kind of check those out as well. Oh, I need a sippy cup. I just have this one. It's dangerous. Right, ColorTube, super cool. Your next question is like, how the heck, like, could I make a multicolor font? Of course you can, right? Let's do that right now, in fact. Boom, boom. Let's have some fun, everybody. We're gonna keep this simple. Right? Super simple. I'm going to do an A. So we'll just change this color. Oh. That line will go away. It's actually part of my software that I'm using. But we'll just do something like this. So we'll take these and we'll use a shape builder, and you can hold down the Option key and click to remove. So I'm just kind of removing those. And here's my A. That's going to be a certain color. Let's give it a crossbar actually of like a different color as I kind of draw this out. And I make it sort of a nice little aqua color. This is not very good. Geez, I thought I was going to be able to make something cool in a short amount of time. And the answer is no. Right? But again, make whatever shape you want, whatever letter. Play with it all you want, right? I'd probably bring this in like so. Try to make something a little bit more interesting. It's just not working for me right now. Let's bring that in like so. Let's bring this side in like so. Okay, so let's say this is my A. Let's take this, and Illustrator will actually not do it out of the box. You do need an additional something like Font Self Maker. So talked about this before. Font Self Maker is a plugin that you can get for Illustrator. Let's load it up. As it loads up, all you need to do is drag and drop your letters right in here. Drag, drop any character. It adds all three of these, adds the space and these two shapes. So the reason it did that, and I can actually throw those away, is because they're not grouped. So I can take this, group it, and I could even name it. So I'm pretty sure I can go over here and say A, right? We'll just do capital A, drop this in, and then it adds it based on the name of that layer. Okay, so I named it A. You could do your whole alphabet, just group them, call them what letter it is, and you'll have it right in here. And then you can start to control the spacing and other aspects as well. Okay, so once you have that done, I did just the A, by the way, of course. I could save this. I could save this A font. There's my A font 1. Saving that out as an OTF file. All right. How can I train my muscle memory to differentiate that hitting layer name and target is different? That's a good question. I'm not sure what you mean by target though. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So anyways, here we have this. We'll save this out to the desktop. OTF, done. You get the idea. Okay. I should have made a cooler one. I've made them before. In fact, you can access them all. Let's jump in here. Let's type in A. Really cool font. And I did it automatically a color. Yeah. Wait for it, people. Install. You guys get the idea. Cool. Yeah, oh good. Leah Jackson, I'm so glad you like this. I thought it was pretty cool being able to make your own font. Typically what I would do is I'd probably start with Helvetica as just like the structure of the letters. Chances are you only need to really do about 5 to 7 letters. You know, because from the P you can make the R, right? From the O you can make the Q. It gets to be pretty easy. So go right in here. We'll type in A. Maybe I got to restart, but it'll show up in here. In fact, let's take a look at some of these other fonts that I have. Select this one right here. Let's go out here. As I scroll down, you can see emoji fonts as well provided. Here's all the fonts. But we can see we also have emojis made that same way. Oh, there's my A font 1, by the way. There it is. I just made a font, guys. It's just of 1 letter, right? There's color tube. I recently updated my system. I got a new computer, so I don't have all of my fonts, but I do have all of my Adobe fonts. So anyways, let's say multi. All right. Anyways, feel free to do a search. You now know how to make multicolor fonts, and keep in mind you can always create outlines with these. Right there they are. I've created outlines. They're actually shapes now. I can recolor this as well. So we'll go into recolor artwork. Let's go into advanced options. We want to make these brighter. Let's go ahead and click on brights. Right, Renaissance, grays. You guys get the idea. Okay, make it your own. Cool. A is for awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? By the way, like I typically use Helvetica. I'll use Helvetica New like all the time. I didn't realize that Twitter actually uses Helvetica New before they made their new font called Chirp. This new font, Chirp, is what's going to get rolled out and be used on Twitter, and hopefully they'll use it in their logo as well. All right. All right, let's just go ahead and switch gears, make sure the audio is still playing, and move on to our next subject. Sorry about that. All right, let's kind of... All right, welcome back. I know I just kind of gave this away a second ago. I hit go live a little bit too soon. But we also like to highlight community members that contributed in a positive way to the community. So we want to go ahead and highlight Marsha Grassett. Marsha, we see you out there, and we want to give you a warm welcome and say, hey, thanks for being an awesome community member with us here and joining us when you can. So everybody welcome Marsha as our community member of the week. We appreciate you. Yeah, I kind of screwed up the the transition and everything, but want to highlight Marsha. Let's kind of show some of her work as well. Okay, so let's just jump right over. You can see, you can actually go ahead and click on her name. Marsha, type something in the chat so people can just click on your name. Make it super easy. Marsha, here she is. I'm following her now, and you can see her Photoshop work. And it's more about her contributing to the community more than anything, but also creating great work as well. So Marsha, you're awesome. We appreciate you. A walk in the foggy morning. Look at this. Talk about moody. So moody and cool. Right? The cool thing about this is it doesn't look like a lot of Photoshop work was done to it, and that's its strength if you ask me, right? Those are her appreciations right there. So again, follow Marsha and her work and what she's into, and we want to appreciate her. So you guys got it. All right. You guys are talking about UX and UI, I see. Awesome. Cool. Welcome everyone. Steve and Sean, Ruchika as well. RB is in the house. I want to know RB's whole name because I do not know it. So let's switch gears. Usually like to talk about free stuff as well, and all these resources that I've kind of already highlighted some other free resources like Brands of the World, the Noun Project. We give free things away, stock.adobe.com, free, and you guys get the idea. All right. Also wanted to show you one other thing. a lot of these, a lot of our services like Behance actually have free stuff that people put on it. So let's just take Behance, for instance. Here I am on Behance, right? Pretty straightforward what we have here. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, it's getting very trippy right now. But just go right up here because people post free stuff to Behance. You get a little to type in free, right? And you'll get free download, free mockup, whatever you want. We'll just do free right now. We'll hit enter. And you can see right in here, people are like promoting fonts and other graphics. So you can jump in and say, hey, you know what? This lovely font like so. There's 2 free fonts out of all of them, but you can see this erotic font, and we'll scroll down. Usually the free button's at the bottom. Okay. Like and download. Yeah. So go ahead and just do that. Just type in free and you will see free content. Same thing for stock.adobe.com. You'll do a / and then type in free and you'll get free assets right in here as well. Thanks, Tim, for posting all those fun links. Awesome. 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 All right. So yeah, just type in free and you will get stuff for free. It's magical and awesome. Okay, so let's continue on. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have free assets or whatever, would love to hear about them. Just go ahead and let me know. Would love to hear about your resources. Chances are you have bookmarks just like I do right up here. Design resources, design inspiration, games, things like that. So feel free. A lot of times in my bookmarks is a lot of museums and stuff, because museums will oftentimes allow you to download their work of art because they'll be in the public domain. So you can kind of check out those. You can see all of them right in here. Themorguefile.com, which sounds pretty scary, but you can see free files from morgue.com as well. So cool. Okay, let's move on. Free stuff is good. Images are out there. It's not, there's no easier time to get into any creative industry, whether it's still or motion or audio, whatever the case may be. To answer your question real fast, Anika, no, it's not possible to slice a sphere in Adobe Dimension. But you bring up a good point, because it is now time for a little Q&A. All right. Thank you, RB. We got Pingtree for an additional resource. pngtree.com. I'm actually kind of jumping out there to see what they have. Sure enough, there's a lot of transparent images, which is super cool. Very nice. All right, so we are officially open for Q&A. Thank you, freeject.net. Okay, I can't vouch for all of these links out there, but give them a whirl. Oh, I love seeing it. spoongraphics.co.uk. Awesome, right? Pretty much any news site that's related to design has a free section, is kind of what I've experienced. So thank you for that, Carrie. Fantastic. You can go to community.adobe.com and also check out Discord. You could see on my desktop, let's switch over. In Discord, we have different channels that you can go ahead and jump into. So Premiere Pro, you can go ahead and ask a question there, right? Same thing for Photoshop, Illustrator, XD. You guys get the idea. So each one is going to have sort of an ask a question section, especially today because we're kicking off all new creative challenges. So feel free to ask questions in there, jump in. You know, what should I use in order to add another pixel or two to the purple edge to overwrite those few pixels? Yeah, that's pretty easy because there actually is an expand. So let's jump out. We'll just do file new. And by the way, I have other images and other questions that I want to answer, but let's just do this one really fast. And let's just grab maybe this person right here. Let's rasterize it. Because what happens sometimes is when you say remove a background, that actually worked really well. Sometimes you won't grab all the pixels. So here we have it like so. Maybe it is cut in. If you go up to select, go into modify, this is what you want to do. You want to expand it out. So you can expand any selection that you want based on whatever pixels that you drop in here. So I can say 10, click OK, it expands it out 10. Pretty straightforward. Cool. Ooh, that's Steve. Yeah, I haven't heard of Yandex, but wow, you guys are doing fantastic. Thank you for all these wonderful resources. You guys are so awesome helping out there. This is really good to see. Okay. All right, so we expanded that out. We can go ahead and fill that with whatever we want. Pink. There we go. And now she has a fun little border, as you can see. Cool. By the way, since you are talking about 3D, Dimension typically is not currently set up to make 3D necessarily. You can basically import 3D objects. But there are some limited things you can do in Dimension, just so you know. We have some primitives, so I'll click Create New. I'll just do this really fast. I'll point this out. Again, more free resources. We have starter assets in Dimension. As you scroll down, you can see all these wonderful starter assets. You could import an OBJ, but also right up here, you can take, say, for instance, let's take a torus, right? So I have this wonderful like ring-like image, as we can see, but these basic shapes have additional controls. That's what this little icon is. So if we jump over here, we take a look at the torus, we go down to the bottom, we could see we could go ahead and adjust the torus, and we could also slice it. So again, we can slice it at an angle, right? And now we have like a half circle of it. And I can actually dial in 180 if I want to. 180, there we are. Ring radius as well, adjusting the size, the thickness. You guys get the idea. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Shoop. Using these primitives and editing them accordingly, taking text, doing all that fun stuff. Cool. Oh, Yandex is Russia's Google? Oh, this is fascinating. Awesome. Cool. All right, let's take a look at more questions. Okay, so I typically try to answer some on through Discord, just so you know. They usually get taken care of, which is awesome. But you could also go to something like community.adobe.com. Right in here, pick a category that you want. Say, for instance, Photoshop or whatever. You know, and this is where you can post a question. Somebody's talking about using two versions of the same image to give either variations of a sky or a foreground. How do you load them into the viewing window so they exactly merge? Have you ever had to align two images? Like, is there an easy way to do that? Let's take a look, because there probably is. You would be right. So let's go out here. Let's just hide that. And let's take a look, because on my desktop, pardon me, excuse me, I have two images right in here from Arizona. Here's one, here's the second. They're both off. They're both, again, same kind of photo taken at different exposures, and I need to align those two. Well, I can do that just by going to Photoshop, File, we have Scripts, and then we can load files into a stack. Right, and there's actually, we could merge into HDR Pro, but I want to load, go into Scripts, load files into Stack, because I actually want to control it. So we'll browse out to those two images on my desktop. There they are. Open them up, and then automatically align those source images, just like that. Click OK. That's pretty fast, right? It's aligning them now, so let's just go ahead and give it a second. Anna Nader has done some cool work. I don't know if I know Anna. So here it is. We did an automatic align. We see our top image is brighter. Let's turn that off, but you can see they're perfectly aligned, even though there's a little bit of a shift. I was probably maybe driving in a car when I took these photos. I don't know. But either way, I can play with sort of the brightness, taking the brightness of one and merging it with the other. I kind of like this look. If I do a little color dodge, we can see what that looks like. So already much better. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, let that random user know that they're getting their question answered right away. And by the way, you can always do merge into HDR Pro. So that's under automate, because that's probably what I'd want to do if I had two images that were taken at different exposures. Because ultimately, I'm kind of doing it manually. But let's take those two. We'll open them up. And we'll click OK. And it will do even more magic for us. All right, how to get inspired. Yes, hopefully you're getting inspired by technology and other people's work. That is the goal. So here it is. We can see those two images right down here. They're kind of behind my head, so let me move myself over. So here's the two images. Here they are merged together, and here are the controls that we can work with. So if we want to actually add more, brighten up the shadow, I can drag this, and it's going to be even better the more images I have, but I can brighten up the shadows, maybe take the highlights down so we don't lose a lot of that depth in the clouds, and you get the idea, right? Cool, kind of crank up that vibrance. There we go. That looks very HDR if you ask me. All right. Yeah, Robert did a good job. I don't know if I did a good job messing with the controls, but that was the goal, just to kind of show you, kind of emphasize what it does by really messing with it ultimately. Okay. So cool. Again, just wanted to highlight some questions. I'm actually down to my last minute. Keep in mind other new things that we have, and again, I hardly have time to talk about this as well. Let's just jump in here. Let's type in yay for today. Right in here, we'll type in yay. And if I want to decide I want to align a graphic with it or draw something, we have snap to glyph. See these little blue lines green lines that turn on? It's snapping to that glyph. So I can actually start drawing and it will snap to them. And so we've enhanced this capability. As I kind of roll around, you'll start to see it snap right up here to that anchor point. And by the way, I haven't outlined this text at all. Right there, we can see it again, aligning. You guys get the idea. Snapping. There you go. Cool. Let's make this fun. Let's round these two ends just for kicks. Zoop. There we go. Yay for us and for you guys. Yeah, so thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. Yes, HDR should at least include like 3 photos. A lot of cameras will actually take all those photos for you. It'll do auto bracketing, which is cool. So, but thank you, Michelle, Lorianne, Fergie, RB, Chris, Robert, Tim, and everyone. I'm going to let you go, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today. But we have a fantastic month planned. It is Black History Month, and we have amazing designers lined up with new guests, plenty of news going on, new creative challenges that kick off this week as well. And I'm going to get a new haircut as well. So that's what I got for you. Stick around. We have the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge up next. It's going to be fantastic with the amazing Kathleen, and hang out with us all day and all week, because why not? Thank you so much. Feel free to follow me on all the social medias, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a beautiful day, and stick around for Kathleen. Thanks, everybody.